Do you think there's an age factor on TikTok? Does it matter if you're older or younger for success?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's the great thing about that app is TikTok gives everybody room to have a platform. Like you can literally do anything you want, absolutely not. If anything, like for me, I know when I was, 20, I didn't have the drive that I have now. So even if I had it then, I wouldn't do nothing with it, like I am now, because I have the drive now. So yeah, anybody can do it.
What stimulated that drive for you?
Losing my daughter.
Really?
Yeah, losing my daughter. Before her, I was like lost. Before she passed away, one day before my due date, she passed away with the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. And it was just a freak accident. And after that, I was like devastated, and I poured all my soul and heart into social media, and I don't have time to, I found a room where I don't have time to be like in pain, so I put all of that into everything I do every day. Like I don't have time to miss her, to cry about it or anything, like I don't have time for it. So she's the reason why, like, I'm so, like, she's the reason why I don't stop.
How does one deal with loss of a family member or maybe even a friend or a loved one? How do you go through that? If somebody is going through that right now, what can you give advice or share a little bit from your experience?
I would have to say for me, it was to go through the pain. When they released me from the hospital without her and having to be in a maternity ward around babies crying and seeing mothers going home with their babies, when I was going in that wheelchair out of the hospital without my baby, I was so heavily medicated. I mean, I don't know what they gave me, but I was so heavily medicated. And I went home and I was heavily medicated on, antidepressants and everything that, sleeping pills. And I went to the grocery store with my husband and my kids, and he was just holding it down. He went through it with me, but he was holding it down for me and the kids, and he had to tell the kids that what happened. They were expecting a baby sister. So, I woke up the next morning and I was going to take another pill, and it was maybe a week after that had happened, and I seen grocery bags, and I said, who went to the grocery store? And my husband's like, oh, we went last night. And I said, oh, okay. And I just flushed all the pills.
Wow.
And I said, I have to go through this with my family. Like I have to just like go through this, because at the end of in a year, if I'm not addicted, I'm going to definitely be, having to go through it. So I might as well do this now. And that's what I did. And then I got pregnant with my son 4 months after that. That was the most stressful pregnancy, because I just kept thinking that he was gone.
Fear.
Yeah, it was so terrible. I was so stressed out. And then I had him, and I jumped into YouTube.
Was there anything else that helped you?
Talking about it, definitely talking about what I went through. Like I was always open about it because I felt like that's all I had left from her. I never minded talking about what I went through with her. And then getting rid of her stuff, that was, tough to come home to all her stuff at the time. But then I just found somebody like who needed it, I was like, I have to find somebody who needs this stuff, like who, and I'll just give it to her. And I did it kind of quick, just because I had to let her go. I couldn't hold on to her. The hope of, maybe it's a dream. Maybe I'm gonna wake up,
Or a nightmare.
Yeah.
A really curious question that I had, because I watched the YouTube video where you shared your experience going through this loss, and I don't know how you kept yourself together throughout that video. To me, I was like, this woman is so strong, because I feel like I would break down, like even the first minute. Yeah. So how did you keep yourself together in that video on YouTube?
I just spoke about her. I just opened my heart and just told people what had happened. It's funny because I remember seeing some YouTube videos, and I wish I knew who the creators were of those YouTube videos, when that happened, like that month of me being home. And I remember them speaking about it, and I remember thinking like I remember feeling comfort from that. And that was my whole goal with that, was to talk about it without, breaking down, and to be okay. Like, I just want them to know that they're going to be okay. Like, this is how terrible it was for me, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
So
You can get through it if you, as an example, you can show people that.
You will get through it, like there's going to be a day where you look back and you're like, I'm okay. My daughter Alyssa asked me, like, why did God take Ricky? Because we named her Ricky because me and my husband thought we were never going to have a boy, and we named him after her. And I told her that I think that God does that because he gets all of his strongest warriors and he has them create angels for them. I mean, that's the only way I can explain why things like that happen.